When entering the NFT space, a lot of creators will go straight to the Ethereum blockchain to mint. Now, the Ethereum blockchain has marketplaces such as OpenSea, Foundation, Rarible, etc. The list goes on. But creators are often faced with high gas fees and actually quite high competition as well, which makes it harder to cut through, particularly if you are a smaller or one-of-one creator. But there is an alternative, and it is the Tezos blockchain, and it is fast becoming the blockchain to watch and building up loads and loads of attention from people as well, particularly when it comes to obviously NFTs, but also those one-of-one creators. Now, Tezos is a proof of stake blockchain that allows quick, affordable, and sustainable transactions, which compete with the current Ethereum blockchain's hefty gas fees. More on that later. Now, Tezos actually has quite a lot of similarities to the Ethereum blockchain, but it's got upgrades and improvements on its experience that actually make it much more desirable for one-of-one creators and artists. So in this video, I'm going to be taking you through 3 top reasons why you might want to mint on the Tezos blockchain, particularly if you are a one-of-one artist or an NFT creator with a smaller collection. So let's get on with it and let's dive right in. Okay, so one of the first things we're going to do is look at the NFT marketplaces on Tezos, because not only are they clean NFT marketplaces, but they actually have got much more of a skew towards art. And I think that's really important for the community who wants to mint, and have their art seen by more people as a good option for them as well. So we've got 3 different marketplaces, and there's obviously a lot more, but I just want to focus on the big ones here so you're aware of them. Object.com. So this is the latest kind of clean NFTs that you can find on the largest NFT marketplace on Tezos. You can see here, it's got a real immediate art skew to it. Really beautifully laid out, very easy for you to kind of navigate through, which I think is a real plus point for anyone buying off the Tezos ecosystem and, buying into particular art. And you've got to really think about those new up and coming investors in art and what they're going to be looking for, because those are the ones that are going to really buy your art. You're not the Damien Hirsts yet, I don't think. You're not the Andy Warhols, but you are someone that is getting a big opportunity because of this marketplace and also the NFT space in general. Another one is Calamint as well. So Calamint is a great site. It's got a little bit more of a larger collection skew, but again, it's very, very art focused beyond what we're seeing on other platforms on different blockchains like Ethereum and things like that. And again, really nicely laid out, which I really, really like. Now, the third marketplace that I'm going to spend most of our time focusing on today is actually Hic et Nunc, or Hen. However, what's really interesting is actually it's gone down as a site. So the point I want to make about this is that I would love to kind of focus on Hic et Nunc or Hen. But when something like this goes down, this is kind of the power of Tezos and the power of the blockchain and the strength of the community, is that whether or not Hen goes away forever, it comes back soon, or it just goes down and, it's intermittent, there are derivative marketplaces which I think really can step up to the plate, and these are built by the community. And again, it shows you, I suppose, how inspiring the community is when it comes to this particular blockchain. And Taya.art is a great example of this. This is almost, if you look at this, identical to Hen. And for me, I know exactly how to navigate around this pretty damn quick, which is great. So again, let's look at this. So if Hen does come back and you want to have a look at Hen, or you want to kind of stick to Taya.art, this is a really, really great way to look at it because they basically look exactly the same. So these are, as I said before with Object and Calamint, really, really focused on an artistic look and feel, and not so much on those 10K collections. So for more independent artists, this is great. If you're into art, you feel a bit more like you're stepping into a curated gallery. And I think that's what's really appealing to a lot of people who are looking to invest in digital forms of artwork as well. And it kind of moves you away from that sort of eBay style feel that you get on OpenSea. And Hic et Nunc or Hen was really the biggest competitor on this particular blockchain to OpenSea. So it's definitely giving you a good run for its money if you are that smaller artist. It feels also a lot more accessible, and it's not just for established collections and established artists, which I think if you're looking to find those next big things, those emerging artists that are coming up through the ranks, or if you're wanting to appeal to those kind of newer investors who are thinking in those ways, this is going to be great for you, because when I talk about the curation side of things, if we look at kind of the gallery side of things and how they do curate collections, look at this. This is what you'd expect to see from something that's got much more of a focus around art. And what I really love about this is it gives a great opportunity for our people who are minting on here. So people like yourselves who are those smaller artists. Yes, you need to choose a wallet that holds Tezos. You cannot choose MetaMask. It doesn't work with Tezos. There are other ones here, and I will do a video around what the right wallets are and how you can buy Tezos, etc., etc. But for now, it mints in a very similar way. Obviously, we'll talk about gas fees in just a minute, about how much lower they are on this particular blockchain. But the residual fees and income that you can get from the secondary market sales are between 10 and 25%, which blows other marketplaces and blockchains out of the water when it comes to this. So think about how much you can set on OpenSea. It's not a lot, but here you can go up to 25%, which I think is incredible. So the big thing to kind of take away from this is that until other platforms like OpenSea do more cross-chain offerings, you can really see the benefit as a one-of-one smaller artist on what these other marketplaces on the Tezos blockchain can really do for you. And I would say that Hen does require you, or Taya Art does require you to be a little bit more technical minded. This is not the most, savvy, laid out, particularly easy to follow NFT marketplace. It's very simple and straight to the point. So you really need to think around it, do your research, but actually spend some time familiarizing yourself with this. And I think you'll benefit from it a lot more than you will do if you were to just join all of the masses on OpenSea. So have a think about this, and we'll move on to another great reason now why you should be minting on the Tezos blockchain. Okay, so one of the massive benefits of minting on the Tezos blockchain, which I think will appeal to a lot of you, is its focus on sustainability. And that for me is really important, and it definitely draws me into this particular blockchain. This has been a huge conversation within the NFT community as well, and beyond that. And I think it's really great to know that for the total annual carbon footprint on here, you are looking on the Tezos blockchain to the equivalent annual energy footprint of around 17 global citizens. So some would say that to transact on Tezos, you're actually spending less energy than you would sending a tweet, which is quite incredible, really. So for anyone who's wanting to get into NFTs but is a little bit put off by the environmental impact, then let me take this time to kind of reassure you about what the Tezos blockchain can do in terms of easing any of those concerns. So we talked about Taya Art and Hen and the other NFT marketplaces, and they're obviously all built on the Tezos blockchain. And this is a proof of stake blockchain as opposed to a proof of work blockchain, which means that it is more energy efficient than the latter, the proof of work model that we see on Ethereum and other chains, which ultimately makes them more energy intensive, which can be quite difficult for anyone who's really looking at that sustainability factor. So to put this into perspective, Tezos can actually process around 200 transactions per second versus Ethereum. And I think that's just a really, really interesting thing to see, because Ethereum actually can process around 30 transactions per second. So you can really see that difference when it comes to those kind of energy efficiency and sustainability sides of things. It's also going to have a new upgrade called Octez version 13 very, very soon, which is it's basically going to mean that then you can upgrade that to around 1,000 transactions per second, which again will mean it can really lower those all-important gas fees. And we're already seeing that it's a really competitive rate when it comes to gas fees anyway. And then you add this kind of upgrade into it, you'll be paying a really, really small amount to mint. When, I remember back to, minting at some points on or even transacting on the Ethereum blockchain, and it's costing me over $100 in gas. This is going to be a fraction of the cost. And I think if you, as an artist, are really thinking about what that's going to be able to do for you, I think it's really important that you kind of bear that element in mind, because everything that I'm giving you here, you might be thinking, yeah, okay, great, it's really good to know that Tezos is an energy efficient blockchain, fantastic, but what does that actually mean for me? Well, apart from your conscience, it also means you're saving money, which is really, really important. It particularly because that encourages you to be a little bit more experimental, because it's not going to cost you so much if something doesn't work. And I think that's really, really important for you guys to understand. So Tezos has already had a major upgrade on its systems called Granada. And as you can see here, this is something that I think a lot of people have been really excited about. This happened in August last year. This actually reduced gas fees by a third. It's also got its most recent upgrade, which is called the Ithaca 2 upgrade, which has made things even more efficient. And then in the nearer future as well, not too distant from now, we're going to have a Jakarta 2 upgrade, which is going to see massive, massive improvements as well. So I think the point is that everything on the Tezos blockchain just keeps upgrading and getting better and better. And again, for you, as a one-of-one artist, you're going to feel the knock-on effects of those upgrades and that benefit, which is really good. So as well as being kind of socially and environmentally conscious, when you're minting a collection, you're paying a fraction of the cost that you would on the Ethereum blockchain. So this just encourages you as an artist to be much more experimental with your work. And for me, it kind of ticks a load of boxes, okay? So the environmental factor, the financial factor from an individual perspective, and the ability to be more creative and try things out is fantastic. So if this all sounds like the perfect thing to get you going for the Tezos blockchain so far, and don't worry, I've still got one more big point to make for you, then there is something that you definitely need to keep in mind. I've mentioned it already. MetaMask is not compatible with Tezos, okay? So you do need to set up another wallet, and another wallet can be something like Kukai. And the Kukai wallet I think is really interesting because you'll be able to hold your Tezos coins, and you can even set it up using a Twitter or Google account. So it's even simpler to get going. So check out Kukai, have a read of the Tezos energy efficiency side of things on the blockchain. All of my links are going to be in the description here. I want you to make sure that you're thoroughly researched on all of this, because I'm obviously giving you a little bit of a whistle-stop tour. But actually, with all of these upgrades, with everything that Tezos is going to offer you, plus the fact that, you know, you can do things with the cheaper gas fees, which are going to get even cheaper, think about what that's going to do for you as an artist and your ability to be even more creative. Now, the third and probably the most important reason why I think you should be looking at Tezos for a blockchain is, you know, it's all this great practical stuff, but the community is ace. They are so thriving and vibrant and willing to help. And I found that out myself when I asked the question about what's happening to Hen, why is it down, where can I look for this website, and they sent me straight to Taya Art. So I was really, really impressed. But you can see already on Twitter, 433,000 people follow Tezos on Twitter. That's no small feat. And, you know, for me, I think they keep you updated really well. It's really, really active. They've also got a much smaller, but actually brilliantly formed Tezos blockchain Discord. And what's really good about this is because there's not that many members in here as yet, that means if you've got any of those pressing questions about anything to do with Tezos, it's not going to be caught up in all the noise. So I think that's really, really positive at this stage as well. So we're seeing artists and collectors coming together because of the focus on Tezos has been really on lots of different arts from all different art forms as well, which is great. And the community is really diverse, really grassroots driven as well. And I think now is a good time to kind of get in on this and really immerse yourself before it does get even bigger. Because we are seeing, I think if you think about the grand scheme of things, we are seeing, and this is a great little site to check out, this is called TZ Stats. We are seeing that there are a growing number of active users on Tezos, and the transaction volumes are growing, the accounts are growing, and it's a really, really positive sign. So there are around 2 million total accounts on Tezos, and there are 342,000 active wallets. So that means that there are 342,000 actual people transacting within Tezos, minting on NFTs, you know, using it as the crypto of choice, etc., etc. And that isn't a bad thing, because actually, in the grand scheme of things with everything with NFTs and everything like that, the wallet holders are around this kind of size anyway on different blockchains. So you know that this isn't something where, you know, it's saying, oh, this is the great blockchain that you should be minting on, and then there's hardly any users. There's lots of people using Tezos, and I think that's a really, really positive thing. Now, I did speak about Hen being a great hub for traditional art, But actually, that's kind of looking at it from, you know, a digital art perspective. But art comes in all different shapes and forms. And actually, I wanted to also point out another marketplace called One Of, which actually focuses more on music, sports, and lifestyle. And this has actually got some big names attached to it. It's got some big partners, Pitbull on here. You know, there've been some big names. I assume this is with the Notorious B.I.G. and Whitney Houston foundations have partnered with them. The Recording Academy here as well. This is all working on the Tezos blockchain. And again, it's something that I think, you know, it's really worth you guys checking out if your concept of art within the NFT space isn't just that traditional, you know, picture-led art, if it's music, if it's kind of sporting moments, if it's more lifestyle-led. And as we're seeing NFTs evolve and change over time, this is going to become much more prevalent to see. So I think it's really important that you guys check out pages like that. This is, like I say, it's bringing together music, sport, and lifestyle, as well as artists to mint. And there's definitely more specific marketplaces that really cater for specific talent on the Tezos blockchain, which is what I quite like, as opposed to the one-stop shop that is OpenSea on the Ethereum blockchain. So you've got stuff that is really dedicated to certain key areas here on the Tezos blockchain, which I think is a really, really popular and positive sort of step forward for this particular NFT marketplace and community, because ultimately, because Tezos's community is much more diverse, you know, there's loads of different things that cater towards it. And what the blockchain does in the NFT space is it takes you away from that real push of the same old 10,000 PFP, NFT collections, and gives you something different. And I think that makes more artists feel like they've got more access to their potential investors and other art collectors as well. And it allows them to really thrive at a much more competitive cost as well. So, you know, for me, this is a really positive way of looking at it in a completely different light. So, you know, I do want to kind of back up a few things about what I've noticed within just kind of giving you guys a bit more context to the power that is Tezos as a blockchain as well, which might kind of give you that insight that you need to kind of tip over the edge to actually start minting on Tezos. I'm looking at big names here. Look, Doja Cat, her single edition NFT sells for 188k, which outsold Jay-Z as the largest auctioned item in the Tezos' history. You know, she released her NFT collection via One Of. That was back in September last year. Huge success. And we're also seeing big brands, Manchester United, McLaren, F1, you know, those kind of big names partnering with Tezos. These guys mean business. And like I say, the continuous upgrades, the way that you as a Tezos holder and minter of their NFTs will benefit from all of these upgrades means that it is continually doing stuff that will benefit you. So from my point of view, there's so much stuff going on, and it just means that you can break things down into much more specific areas that will really work for you as a creator. Well, there you have it. If you haven't considered the Tezos blockchain yet, then definitely look into it as an option for you to really save on those gas fees, be a little bit more sustainable with your NFT minting processes and transactions, and of course to get that heritage when you know that Tezos is really coming up the ranks as that next blockchain to watch. Now, if you want to get any more inspiration on your NFT journey in the space, then why not learn from some incredible creators who have been there and they've done it as well. These guys have been top of their game since day one, and you can learn so much from them. So enjoy these videos as well. Don't stop learning. Keep educating yourself within the NFT space. I'll be there to help you as well, and I'll see you next time.